Jussie. Mm-mm-mm.
Don't it seem like
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna be covering this Jussie Smollett outburst in a courtroom after he was sentenced to 150 days in a jail for his foolishness. Let's go ahead and just take a look at at Jussie's stupidity, shall we?
No, I would
Yeah.
just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay,
I am not suicidal.
okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. And I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
Yeah, man. So he really thought this was a good idea. He wanted us to know that this is not a Jeffrey Epstein case. He is not suicidal. That he is innocent, even though the judge and jury of his peers has found him guilty. And that they are just making a huge mistake of this. And this right here, and then to throw up the Black Power fist. Brother. First of all, let's start with the background for those of you who don't know, so that I'm not just telling you a story you don't know about. So yeah, Jussie Smollett, a while back, like I think maybe a year or two ago, he came out and he was like, these people attacked him for being gay, and they were Trump supporters, and they poured bleach on him, and just this crazy wild story. I mean, this story is just out of control, okay? And when most of us first heard it, we were like, I need some facts and evidence, because this ain't adding up. And so, yeah, we were all like, this ain't adding up. So come to find out, right, after the police do like an investigation or whatever, this whole thing was made up. He had these two Nigerian brothers, rough him up a little bit. This man put a noose around his own neck, went home, and tried to get a hate crime prosecuted. And yeah, they found out that none of that was true. They got him texting the brothers, setting it all up, them buying their equipment. You know, basically they just worked together to pull off this sham of a crime. Yeah, so Jussie landed in court the first time, and they said they weren't going to prosecute him. He had like 150 hours of community service or something like that. But then they came back and said, nah, we're going to have to prosecute you for this one, big fella. And yeah, so he got 150 days in jail for pulling off that stunt. Yeah, what I will say is he doesn't have an argument, but the only argument that could be made is the hypocrisy in the situation. I think that anytime anyone, not just Jussie Smollett, is reporting a false crime against anyone, there should be consequences for that. We don't see that in a lot of cases. We don't see that in a lot of places, right? Where someone reports a false crime and then they're punished for doing that. They need to be punished. People need to be punished for doing that. It needs to be a deterrent. Stop. Don't report false things that happen. Stop lying. Stop the lying. So yeah, let's be consistent on that too. But yeah, they're definitely Chicago is just the Chicago Police Department, and they're just playing it up like they can be this super competent organization. And Chicago has its own problems. Still a beautiful city, but it has its own crime problems or whatever. And yeah, I just find Jussie funny. I just find his outburst funny. I find the fact that he thought that he was doing something that was revolutionary. Absolutely hilarious. This man has honestly, when people do stuff like this, it makes it harder for the next person whose story is true, right? So let's say someone is attacked, right? And it is a hate crime. It's going to be harder for them to prove their case now because it's in the court of public opinion, which is a real thing now. I mean, you are judged in a court of public opinion before you're even judged in a court of law. You could be found innocent on every single count, but in the court of public opinion, even if you are found innocent, you're still guilty. You know, it's just amazing, and that's all I've got. It's amazing what we have come to. And speaking to myself as a lawyer, so the justice system is broken for sure. There's no doubt about it. But like, the need to the need to have people keep their innocence is so important, and we just have thrown that away. We don't believe in people being innocent. If you're accused of anything, you're guilty. And it's not right, it's not fair anymore, and we need to do a better job as a public and as a society saying, hey, you're innocent until we see the facts, and once we see the facts, if you're guilty, my boy. Like, you're guilty. I mean, that's just it. Like, you are guilty no matter what. If once we see the facts, once you've been proven guilty and we see the facts and you're guilty, then you're guilty, you know. Then the court of public opinion can pile on. But it just jumping on ahead, and it goes again with the cancel culture thing, which again I've already said I'm not behind. But yeah, just jumping on off the bandwagon is crazy. And Jussie Smollett, man, you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know. I'm not gonna say you had no mental problems because you clearly say that you are mentally stable. There's nothing going on with you. There's nothing happening. So I'm not gonna put that on you. But I'm just gonna say you flat out wrong, man. You flat out wrong for this. You were flat out wrong for making up that story. You flat out wrong for this outburst in court, pretending like you're doing this for Black Power when we all know that you was up there lying. Yeah, man. Yeah, when you do stuff like this, I just want you to know you set the Black community back. I know that's a harsh thing to say, but it's the truth. When you do things like this, when you make up lies, you set the community back. You make it harder for the next person who actually has something happen to them to prove it. And people are going to instantly judge and say, oh, you remember that Jussie Smollett case? I don't know about this. That's what you do. You set a precedent. This is what we, in legal terms, we like to call. You set a precedent. For as unfortunate as and untrue it is, and how every case should be taken on a case-by-case basis, it's not, and you set a precedent, a very bad precedent. And then you had the nerve, after you were found guilty, after you was given 150 days in jail because you thought that you didn't do it. You still take your innocence. And trust me, hold on, I like to say this. There are plenty of innocent people who are found guilty. Plenty of innocent people who are found guilty that are innocent. I want to say that. Definitely want to say that and point that out. But Jussie Smollett, based on the evidence that we've seen, you are not one of those people. You are just in denial, and you cannot accept responsibility. And that is a part of the problem, especially in society today. People cannot accept responsibility for their actions. Accept what you've done. Accept it. Accept what you've done. You did something wrong, you made a mistake. Grow from it instead of hindering yourself by still trying to say, oh, this is Black Power, I'm not suicidal, y'all just doing this to a black man. No, we all seen the evidence. We all seen it. And it's not on your side, buddy. So yeah, they're not railroading you. No, just accept responsibility. Accept responsibility. Again, the justice system is not perfect. The justice system is broken. But at the same time, like, there's not a doubt in anybody's mind, after seeing all the evidence against you, that you were guilty of coming up with this fake, bogus hoax of a hate crime for your career. You did this for your career, right? And think about that in retrospect. You cost yourself your career by doing something to try to propel it with this fake hate crime. Did that make sense to you? Huh? Does that make sense to you? Doesn't make sense to me. You just cost yourself millions for 15 minutes of fame. Jussie, I'm going to say this and then I'm out of here. You should be ashamed of yourself. I hope that after your jail stint and after whatever you pay your fines, I hope that you can get your life back on track and start to be more of a positive influence in the community than what you are and what you have been. I hope that you can do that, but I don't know. When you don't accept responsibility, you can't grow, people, and that's just all there is to it. So, with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment, let me know what you think of this Jussie situation. And as always, I will be back when I'm ready to run my mouth again.